we're looking at buying a very small little strip mall, just 4 businesses. It's on a road with high traffic numbers, a really good location, nice neighbors in terms of other businesses. But the building is old and run down, needs a lot of work. The parking lot needs to be totally redone. I asked the agent, I said, how long have these businesses been in here? And he said, oh, it doesn't matter because it's fully occupied now. And I thought, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, because it does matter. And the reason it matters is because of a thing called Lindy's Law, or sometimes called Lindy's Effect. Lindy is actually a restaurant in Delhi in New York City. And Lindy's Law was created by Albert Goldman and a group of comedians. And what they're looking at was the probability of a comedian lasting on television for another year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And they realized there was a direct correlation to how long comedian had been having good media exposure in the past to what he'd be in the future. So if he's been on television a lot for the last 3 years, odds are he'll be on for the next 3 years, and so on. So then people started looking at this, and actually in the book, Anti-Fragile, Things That Gain from Disorder, Taleb points this out and uses the Lindy Law. And he says, if a book has been in print for 40 years, odds are it will be in print for another 40 years. And if it stays in print for another 10 years, then the odds are very high that it can be in print for another 50 years. So the idea is that the past will continue if it was successful and doesn't change. And this is only for non-perishable things. So why does Lindy Law matter to us? Because we looked at those 4 businesses in there, and how long had they been in there would determine what is their probability of continuing to stay in business and being able to pay us rent. So we looked at the business. One of them had just gotten in there, but 2 others had been there for a very long time. And so that told us that that was a good location for them, that they were a stable business. And if they'd been there for 5 years, then odds are they were going to stay another 5 because they built up their clientele and so on. Another business had been there a short time, but as we started to look at the traffic, as we were looking at the property, they were doing really well. So Lindy's Law helped us say at least 50% of the occupants were probably going to be there for the next few years, which made the property very attractive to us. We're going to end up buying that property. And the reason why we're buying it is because Lindy's Law helped us make the decision. So what's this mean for you? It means for you, if you're looking at a vendor, look for a vendor who's been in business for a while, because they'll probably continue to be in business. If you're looking at real estate, buy real estate where the tenants have been there for some time, because they're going to be there. Don't be influenced by short-term emotions and values. Avoid short-lived content. Stay with things that have some stability in them if you're going for a regular kind of business. Stay with businesses and vendors and people who have some stability to them and have a history that's successful, that predicts their future is going to be successful. Learn from those comedians and the Lindy effect, and you'll have a more stable business. Consider that.